Hi there, my name is Courtney Edens. I'm an MBA candidate at the University of Denver, focused in the marketing concentration. Um, Today, I attended a really amazing brand experience on Rainey Street at South by Southwest. Paramount Plus specifically put on this exhibit and expertly built a few different worlds, activating their brand in a three-story building that they called the Lodge. And the franchises that they were promoting in the Lodge were some of their newer shows, 1923, Star Trek, Grease, Rise of the Pink Ladies, School Spirits, and Fatal Attraction were all specifically activated within this three-story space on arguably one of the most, if not the most, popular walkable street in Austin, Texas. Um, my takeaways from this experience are that it was a brand activation on site at a conference is a very top of funnel marketing activation for driving awareness. Um, Many people that I was interacting with at the lodge had noted that they hadn't heard of most of the TV shows. However, expressed interest in 1923, for example, because they like Yellowstone and had heard that this was, a story within a story related to Yellowstone, but not exactly the same show. There's also photos of the cast of 1923, kind of old uh, mountain-esque photos of Harrison Ford specifically. So such a memorable and iconic Hollywood actor. So you're seeing, these photos of Harrison Ford and a cowboy hat and kind of old world, early 1900s clothing. And it makes you go, oh, like Harrison Ford's in a new show. So even if you're not familiar with Paramount or Yellowstone, they're finding other ways to hook you. Um, and who doesn't know Harrison Ford, right? Other people had noted while we were in the space that they still had not signed up for Paramount Plus because they have too many apps, which is, if you've done any reading around the streaming wars of 2023, I think that's a relatable story. People were saying that they really needed to wind down some of the subscriptions that they had activated during the pandemic and that they had been spending less time watching TV, which definitely applies to me. I think I would fit into that bucket. Of course, there's a lot of people out there that subscribe to every app. So, just an interesting tidbit as I was networking in the lodge. Much of the research, as I mentioned, that I've done throughout the past quarter reflected this perspective. The streaming market is flooded, it's oversaturated, and there's really a content surplus, and consumer demand seems to be tapering off quite a bit. So I imagine this is a highly competitive sector right now. And I think it was yesterday or the day before I had visited the Yellow Jackets activation, the Showtime show. So they all seem to be um, at each other's throats, if you will, competing for market share. So, one of my like curiosity moments as I'm in this really expensive space where they've got, a old school car in the Grease Pink Ladies section of the house and this really elaborate bar and, lodge, ski lodge type setup promoting 1923 and so on and so forth is, you know, will activations such as this Paramount Plus lodge drive consumer consideration and conversion? How do you measure that? How do brands like Netflix fare if they're not participating on the ground with potential customer bases at an event like South by? Um, and another thing I'll say is that they were handing out, I don't know where I put it, badges at Paramount. Oh, I really want to find it because it looks cool. This is a 1 month free trial of Paramount Plus if you use this code online. But just kind of tying this back to another panel I went to, I think yesterday, around immersive experience design. This is a ski pass, kind of like an old school ski pass that, back when I was a kid, we used to get, and has this, thing that you like clip to your ski pants and, scan it when you get in the lift line. So just a nice little touch, I think. I don't think this activation was as well done for as the Jackets experience that I went to this weekend. However, it's very different where, they went all in on one show at the Showtime Yellow Jackets brand experience, whereas this was really like you're walking through the house that is Paramount Plus and you're exploring all their different franchises. So it's almost like logging into the app digitally and scanning all the different options available to you. But yeah, I guess I just wonder, how does Paramount Plus determine which franchises they're positioning in this really valuable real estate? God knows how much, this costs them, and how did they brand yeah, this really resonated with me. Like, how did they choose the lodge given the amount of franchises that they were putting under one roof, where like the lodge was, very much leaning towards that Yellowstone 1923 audience, but definitely had no relation to Greece or Star Trek. Like, how did they make that decision and what data did they use to make it is interesting to me. So I look forward to seeing all the press around this and seeing if there's any interviews out there with any of the folks at Paramount Plus that would, help us better understand. But overall, really well done. Like I said, not the best activation I saw, but superb regardless. Thanks for listening.